Focus. Yeah. Hello. Today is gonna be, I think, quite a short coding session where we are going to actually try out a new editor, and it's an editor called Focus. So if you Google, I can put it in the description of course, but if you Google Focus editor, then it will be up here. Let's see. So this editor, I think, as far as I can tell, the reason I found out about this editor is because, of course, it's written in Jai. So I was kind of lurking in the Discord, and I saw someone mentioning projects, and I saw Focus. And I actually already have tried out Focus a bit on an existing project. So if I open that up and jump into the main file, let me toggle line numbers. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, this code editor does not come with any sort of LSP. So we don't have any IntelliSense like auto-completion, or any jump to definition or symbol picking or all that sort of helpful stuff. But the pros is that it's super fast, like jumping between files is incredibly fast. Searching is also incredibly fast. So say I have the Jai compiler linked, so I can, for example, jump into a module and then math that quick. It searches the entire directory, which I have pointed the project to, and like here, like writing is also obviously there's no kind of delay of any kind, and also there's no like Vim or Emacs motions. So it's like VS Code in that way that it uses the OS, the operating system key bindings. So the Control C, Control V, Control D, all that sort of just works. And also it's super simple to set up the project. So if we open project config, I have constructed a debug, build and run, which runs on F5, and it just runs the Jai on main, and the run command runs if the build is successful. So if I press F5, boom. So working in it so far has been super nice. And so this is the game from the last coding session. I have done some work outside. So collision now works. So if I collided there, and I can show you also something I did. So I did the wrapping. So if you watch here, I wrap around the entire scene here. Oh, and I wrapped into an asteroid. And also the asteroids wrap when they go outside. So if they go out from the left, they come back down here. We can see that on this one actually. Let's kill that one. So if you just watch this asteroid, it comes back above here. And same for the player then, of course. I can just wrap around infinitely, just like an asteroid game should. And collision works with the bullets and the asteroids, and collision works with the triangle and the asteroid. It's even the rotation of the triangle is taken into account for the collision. So let's see if I place myself right about here. Yeah, as you saw, the collision is corrected for the rotation. But yeah. So that's not what I wanted to do. Actually what I wanted to do was create a new project. So let's go into Focus folder and projects, And what I wanted to do, let's open up a terminal. I actually wanted to create something called Atganga focus config. So that's created. Let's dump that into the second screen here. So let's just config this real quick. So workspace. The first entry here is the project root, so that would be Atganga. And I'm thinking actually that, so this is a Unity project and there's a bunch of files here. I'm not sure if we should point it straight to the code folder, which is all the scripts. I think we should, because this, I will only use this for editing code, obviously. So there's no reason to bring up all the other files. And let's see, so the other is other search directories that should be included into the working directory. This one I'm not so sure. Maybe we should just leave it empty for now. Let's try this. So if we save this file, that's good. Then we can close, we can do switch to project and it will be here. And this is because I put it in the focus into projects folder with the name here. So this is the name that's displayed here. So if I open this up, kill whatever command we have. Regex inbuild command config missing, can't jump to errors. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so now we have all of our CS files. We should probably ignore the meta files. So let's see how that's done. Just ignore. Let's open up. Let's do switch to project example. And let's open project config. I want to put ignore somewhere. There's no sort of filter. No. Yeah. That's fun. So we're looking for config, perhaps. Yeah, so this one is much larger, and if we're going to ignore here. Files and directories matching the following wildcards will not be added. Will not be loaded or descended into. That's good. So what we want to do is just do star.meta. So let's do that. So let's switch the project. Let's open project config. And let's see. So under workspace, they have an ignore. And let's see. Yeah, it's .meta. Workspace has been loaded. Yeah, so now they're gone. See how that's so freaking fast. There's no loading or of any sorts. No loading bar, no restart, nothing. So now I have all the code files that I want. So if you go into like mod, there is some syntax highlighting by default. I'm not sure where the syntax highlighting is from for each bar. Maybe this is from, there's some default kind of thing. Yeah, so now I can just start coding here. Cool. So let's go into the game. So what I actually wanted to do today was fix a bug. Let's also see numbers, perhaps show line numbers here. I wanted this to be on by default. So let's open project config. Let's see, this was under setting. Right, settings, yeah, show line number, true. Good. Let's open up the game and let's also navigate here. And let's see. Yeah, I have a bunch of uncommitted files. Let's go through them. Code, nothing code-wise I need to change. Harbor, let's do that. A bunch of external assets that I don't want to commit because I should actually, these are all just removed. Yeah, I have this super irritating bug. I can show you. Unable to create blah 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 index.lock. This only happens in this Unity project for some reason. I have no clue why. My thinking is that the Git file is so big that it for some reason they don't manage to delete the index.lock in time, so it gets stuck here. Or maybe Unity holds onto a Git instance for some reason. No clue. Yeah. So I have to manually delete that fucking file every time I have to commit. Like now, like when I want to pull. So I have to open up Explorer, go into .git and manually delete index.log. Let's see now if I can git pull lazy git. Yeah, now I can pull. And this isn't even a lazy git bug, since the exact same bug happens when I just use the normal CLI for git. Yeah, so that's super irritating. Anyway, let's see. So round count system. What I want to do is I don't want to generate that. I want to do that. And in that function down here, I want to generate there. And in round system, here, pick round event round. I actually want to do round type dot hot potato, I think. Yeah. Cool. So let's save all. Go back in. Let this thing compile. Cool. So I just made sure that we get into an event round instantly after the first round. So let me join, pick a player, spawn a non-playable character, and start. Okay, so let's go and kill the other player. Boom. These are the jump pads. I think I did the jump pads in another coding session, or at least I fixed them. So now we will pop into hot potato, or I think it's renamed. Yeah, Loki's heist. Hold the treasure when the time runs out. Damage other players to steal it from them. That we will have to. Let me note that down. grab a note. Let's create another one. Change description of hot potato round to match current logic. And also fix bug in hot potato round. So the bug, let's demonstrate. Hopefully I can demonstrate it. I can't, right? Yeah, I can't now. Fuck. Sorry, I have to restart and I have to plug in a controller. I need to be able to control both players to find this bug. I also can remove this debug. Oh, now it opens here. So, hot potato 55. Hot potato 55. There. Yeah. The reason I from the start wanted to try out this new editor is because I can't. I listened to you probably know of the Primogen, and there's a guy named Ginger Bill, and they had a video where they discussed the fact that he has used Sublime Text for a lot of years, and he kind of explained his reasoning behind not using any language server, and I found that very interesting. He had some very interesting points about IntelliSense sometimes like being in the way, and not having it kind of promotes you knowing the code instead of relying on the autocomplete just popping everything in. So I wanted to try this way out for a couple of days. Yeah, now we can demonstrate it. So the yellow player, the red player will punch the yellow player to steal the potato. That works, but the time for the other player is reset and it keeps counting up for the other player. So that's the bug. Let's see, so let's write that down. So on transfer, time resets for the player who held it, and it keeps counting for the old player and not the new holder. So I think this will be two separate things to fix. And let's see, so let's go to take damage. Take damage. We have a take damage in code/scripts. That's empty. Huh, I never knew that. Code/scripts. Let's see. Is this true? Code/scripts. Player squish. Fine. Take damage is an empty file. Let's kill that. Weird. Removed empty code file. Weird. Anyway, kill that and go into take damage, the real file, and somewhere down here. So this is when another player takes damage, and if it's a hot potato round and they're holding the potato, we will hot potato.transfer potato through contact. So there should be a function called transfer here, potato through contact, and this will change player.playerholder.to. So where is this variable used? Let's see. So actually this code can be removed and put into here. Yeah. Is there like wrap, total line wrap? Yeah, so cool. So player holder is used to spin the potato when there's no one holding it. It's also used here. Give a speed boost, yeah. Yeah, so that's not true. This is actually now increase timer for holder and update UI. So this will, I think is update a bar, and it has an update text, and this just takes in the whole text. And here is a function that we should definitely give a look to. So this one is called on round init. That's fine. Maybe it's called from somewhere else. No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Here, so let's see where update text is called from. Update text is only called from here. Potato.scorebar. Potato.scorebar. Where is scoreboard assigned? I think this is a complicated assignment. Yeah. But this one is never reassigned. So this one should definitely be reassigned down here. Here. Oh. Mess. So this whole thing we need to do here as well. So reassign the score bar. Yeah, so we select here. Potato holder, potato object. Yeah, I think, I don't know why I did it like this. I don't serialize it. And I don't think this potato is referenced from anywhere else. Match whole word. Yeah, so this one is only used in here. And it's never assigned in the editor. So why did I make this a struct? Let's not do that. Let's keep it unstructured. So we can actually potato is equal to new potato. This we can remove. So we can just set player holder to null, and then we instantiate the potato object. So that makes sense. This is reference here. Yeah, so that's fine. So now we can go through potato dot. We can just select all of these cases. Here, there. Yep. And we can just do delete. And this one is super weird. Potato object.transform. Let's not do that because PTT is a very weird thing to write. Potato object.transform.position. Potato object.transform.position. Good. So let's try. Yeah, we have to, of course, put some columns here now. Potato origin is a transform, whatever. Okay, so let's try this now. Let's decrease the time. Let's see if we have any errors. We do. Oh, of course it opens. PTT does not exist in current doc, so there's so many references PTT here. Potato object.transform. Potato object.transform. Yeah, so let's try this out. Join. Let's see how this feels. Or how this works. If it's fixed or not. So let's see. I think the score thing should work now. It should increase the score of the red player, but score update text. It's quite weird that the score was reset. So we'll see. Let's see who gets the potato first. So yeah, that's wrong. So blue player, so if the red player takes potato, yeah, they now get score. To that, they get score, and if I throw a potato, I steal it. Very good. Very good. Let's see if the placement thing works. So the red player has held the potato a lot longer. And the red player gets a score. Yes, that kind of seems to work. Very good. So let's commit that. Potato. This one I'm not sure. Hot potato bar.cs. I think that's it. Fix potato round. Now it works. Boom. Good. And also let's check that here. Source mode. Oh. I actually wanted. There's no. What's the shortcut for strike through? Shortcut for strike through. Control D. Is that true? No, Control D removes. Oops. Yeah, so that doesn't work. So let's say strike through tag strike. Maybe that works. So if we do strike, yeah, so that seems to work. No. So now we don't have to do this weird X thing. Change description. So somewhere in this file there is a set description. Yeah, there is. Very nice. We can remove this and this should be renamed. So hold the potato to hold the treasure. Attack other players to take it from them. There we go. And I think I want to change. So let's keep one decimal here. And I'm not sure if I want to do seconds here. Let's try out that, see how it looks. It felt weird to have 2 decimals. And there's too much noise in the UI, like it changes. Yeah, you can imagine. You saw it. So having this 1 decimal, maybe even no decimals is okay. And just hide. But that can make it very unclear if 2 people have 5.5 seconds each and another player in the actual like float number they have 5.1 and others 5.5. That becomes very unclear to the player. So we want to reduce the risk of like confusion, but also not give too much information. And the chance for having the equal 5.5 and 5.5 is super low, I think. So it should be fine. Hold the treasure, attack other players to take it from them. Maybe a new line in there should be added. Let's see. That looks good, but we want to do this. That looked too big. That's good. And on set player, I want to... Actually, I think this is a property in the editor I can do. Let's see. Where is it there? So there's, in the beginning, it said some default value, 10.33, which I think I actually set in here. Let's see if that's true. Yeah. So, this should be, the default should be 0.0, yes. That's good, and we can even just make sure that this is true in the future by doing update text to 0 here. Good. So let's commit that as well. Not that. And also the actual object to be updated there. Cool. So fix or maybe adjust the script. Let's see. Hot potato description text and for container modifications. Cool. So that's good. And I think we'll be going now for 35 minutes, and I think I'm pretty happy with the things. So that's it. And I really like this way of working now. It didn't take long. We'll see how it actually feels when I do more complicated, when I do like new features or new files. But one of the reasons this kind of works for me now is that I have been in this code base for 2 years, and I've written most of the code myself, or at least seen all of the code. I went through all of the code by hand. And I have used Unity for a couple of years, so I know the built-in, like the API for the scripting, I know pretty well as well. Yeah, but I imagine if I had less experience with programming or less experience with the code base, using this might have been very scary. Since autocompletion, at least in the beginning when you enter a new code base, can be helpful for just understanding what's available to you at each location in the code. But what you could do, even if I split this, I could do it like this. So just open up the documentation here, which is something the Ginger Bill mentioned as well. Like, you can just have the documentation open, and say I have questions. Let's see where do we do stuff? Like, I think we have something called, what's it called? I don't even remember the component name. Character controller, yeah. So we have a reference here to a Unity component called the character controller, and I don't know all the fields on that one, so I can just have the documentation open here. Go into character controller, and I have all the stuff, all the methods, all of the operators available, and the members, properties, and I can keep coding here without any pop-ups or stuff like that. One thing that I think I will miss very quickly is just a basic jump to definition. So, for example, in VS Code, you can press F12 on a function or a variables. Let's see. Let's try out my. But you can jump to where variable or class or function or method is defined, and that I think is very useful. Say, for example, let's go into a file that has a lot of functions. Movement has a lot of functions. So, say I'm down here and I just want to, like, what function is this? I can just F12 into it. Whereas in here, in the same script, say I was down at the same position in fixed update. Here, there's no F12. To my knowledge, there's no jump, there's no definition, there's nothing. So all I can do is just copy paste it into search and go to it, which is not that bad, unless it's called on a lot of places. Then it can be a little complicated, and it's also a lot more keystrokes. So Command C, Command F, and enter. Whereas here, I just go into it and I just F12. Same for variables. I jump for is F12. You can even jump into whatever this was. I F12 the float. Yeah. So we'll see. It's open source and it's written in Jai, so maybe it's not impossible that I could implement some sort of jump to definition. Just a super simple jump to definition. And it can even be hard coded for the language. So say you do a function. If I'm down here, say I do F12, maybe you can, depending on the language, let's say we implement this for C#, perhaps we just check, like, is it a expression, a call expression? Just check if there's parentheses and a semicolon over here. If it's a call definition, just look up the, somewhere in the file there should be a something with this name followed by parameters and so followed by brackets, and go to that line. Yeah, not sure. It's interesting to think about. Cool. Right, so cool. Thank you if you watched this bit of a mess coding session. And hopefully next one will be this. I will do one more this week, probably on this game, or on the other thing I'm working on currently, which is this. I showed it earlier, this Jai game, which I'm having a ton of fun coding. It's super fun to code in Jai. Since this is the whole game right now. It's only one file. It's just a bunch of functions and some data up here. I also have this file called entities, which just has some general structs, and I also have this 2D math file, 2D collision, for the two collision types I support right now. And this way of coding is so different compared to working with Unity, and I very much prefer. I really enjoy programming, and programming in Jai in this way is so much more fun. Yeah. All right. Bye bye.